CM 365, all about Carnatic music. I'm very happy that my previous episode on the Dashavida Gamakas has evinced so much of interest among Rasikas to know more about it. I myself am very keen to know about all these aspects, but when the impetus comes also from the Rasika's point of view, then my curiosity actually becomes multifold and I try to examine the subject in a more deeper manner. In the same way, while I was thinking of the Gamakas before going into each of the technical terms, actually it's very, very interesting to see that how these Gamakas occur in the context of a raga or specific phrases. Now, among the 10 Gamakas that we're going to actually explain later, we see that it is only the Kampita Gamakam which actually can exist independently in the sense that the kind of oscillation involved here can be on a singular note. Whereas the other kind of Gamakas that we are going to talk about all rely on some other note or phrase for its execution actually. And that makes it very, very interesting to study also. And also it's, when you delve deep into it, you see that when you are singing a raga, you don't consciously think, okay, at this place I'm going to employ the Spurita Gamakam, at this place I'm going to employ the Kampita Gamakam or Pratyahata Gamakam and so on. It is just that the Gamakam flows naturally in the course of the ragam. And as the raga progresses, you see that within the same raga itself, different kinds of Gamakas are executed depending on the context, depending on the kind of phrases in which it comes into, and so many other factors. So, which Gamaka will be used is determined by the ragam, or is the ragam determined by the kind of Gamakas incorporated in its notes? This is like a egg and chicken story where I really cannot give you any answer, but nevertheless the fact goes that the ragam exists because of the Gamakas and the Gamakas come into execution because of the ragam or the kind of, the container called ragam which it is put into. Now, I'll give you some few examples to show you how this happens, that in the sense that the nature of the ragam itself gives scope for that kind of a gamaka, and we don't really plan that at this point of time we'll employ this gamakam. For example, let's take the Spurita Gamakam, which is nothing but the hitting of a particular note. When there are two notes happening and you hit the second note, and this is a characteristic of this kind of a gamakam, like sa, sa, ri, ri, ga, ga, where when you sing sa, sa, the second sa is hit. For example, let's take Mohanam itself. Sa, sa, ri, ri, ga, ga, pa, pa, sa, sa, ri, ri, ga, ga, pa, pa, where sa, when you're doing the second sa, when you're hitting, actually you're touching the note below it. So sa, da, sa, so ri, sa, ri, ga, ga, ri, ga, pa, 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 ga, pa. So what is happening is that in this particular gamakam, you are actually, while hitting that second note, you are also touching upon the lower note. And this is something which lends beauty to a ragam like Mohanam, this kind of Spurita. Da da ba ba ga ga pa pa da da re re ga ga pa pa sa sa re re ga ga. So these kind of gamakas add beauty. Another example we could take is Arabi. Pa pa ma ga ri ri sa sa da da sa sa ri sa ri ma. Where you see that in Arabi, this kind of Spurita Gamakam adds a special color to the ragam. Another ragam we could take is Gaula. Ri ri sa 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 ri ma ma ni sa ri ma ma sa ri ga ma ri sa sa pa pa ma ma ri sa sa. So this kind of pairing of notes actually adds special color to a ragam like Gaule also. And sometimes this kind of pairing happens naturally in the Arona itself. Like for example in Riti Gaule you see ni sa ga ri sa ni sa ga re ga ma ni da ma ni sa is a typical characteristic phrase in Riti Gaule where you say ni sa ga ga ma ni sa. the pairing of note itself lends a special color here. Or in Darbar, Pamari Gaggari Sari Gaggari Sari. So this Gagga coming as a pair is a unique feature, and this kind of pairing actually lends that special color to Darbar and makes it different from other ragas. Now, if you look at the Kampita Gamakam, we see that, for example, if you take Pamagari Re, in this particular phrase, the ga has to be oscillated in the Kampita mode so that you get that feel of the Saveri here. Or if you take Madhyamavati, Re, 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 Ma, Pa, Ma, Re, Sa. So here, the applying of this kind of a Kampita Gamakam is what gives the character to that Madhyamavati. Or if you take Varali, Pamagari Gama, Pada Pamaga, Pamagari Sa. Or in Ananda Bhairavi, Pada Pasa. This is a different kind of a Gamakam, whereas there is a huge leap from Pa to Sa. Sagari Gama Pada Pasa. Or if you take in Sahana, Sare Gama Pa Madani Sa Madha, from Ma to Da. Or again, if you take the example of Ragam, a rarer one like Bindu Malini, Sagari Gama Pani Sa Sani Sada Pagare Sa, where you see that because of the Vakratva, there are different kinds of Gamakas which get employed to give that Ragam its particular color. Or even a Melagartha Ragam like Chalanata, if you take, Sari, only if you push that Shatshruti Rishabha, that is Re number 3, then only you will get the sound of that Rishabha in connection with the Ga, like it appears like Sari Ga Ma, or the Padanisa Padanisa Sani Da Pamagari Sa. So it's actually very, very interesting to see how the raga itself gets formed with the incorporation of so many kinds of beautiful gamakas within it. And it's again, it's not just the notes here. Again, I reiterate the point that it's not just the notes which give the ragam its distinct stature. Rather, it's the kind of the gamakas, all the kind of gamakas that go into it that make the ragam sound so vibrant and beautiful. CM 365, all about Carnatic music.